the daily races have changed. Lago Maggiore is no more in the Group 3 for this week, but I did manage to get a good lobby with a clean race, which doesn't really happen very often, especially in the beginning brackets where I am. I started in 7th position, but it was a very, very decent battle. Although first and second place were running most of the time undisturbed. Here, look at the first corner here. It is a mess. Everybody is like grayed out, is ghosted because nobody is keeping a line. Everybody is very unorganized. You would see here, look at the Nissan GT. the fella just went woof, straight across. If it wasn't ghosted, like no one would have got out of that corner unscathed. It was a massacre about to happen. But we managed to get off with a good 4th place, so we gained 3 position, and then Bast X1 decided to go long like Sanchez for some reason. But yeah, he was a bit late on the brakes, so he had to slow down massively, and we are now on podium. Although we have about 3.2 seconds off the first place, and about 1.8 from the second place Frankie. But unfortunately, it's very difficult to keep up the pace with them. They are running around 2 minutes, very clean. And for me at the moment, you can tell it's very difficult to still understand the correct braking points. And in many of the dodgy cornerings, I was unable to get to pinpoint exactly how much I should brake. So I was either braking too little or I was braking too much, losing speed. Throughout this corner, for example, it was a pretty okay line, but that can be done much, much better. The last corner is pretty decent, although you can tell I'm very shy on the acceleration, and I turn traction control to almost off. I only have it on 1. I think on this race I have it on 1 because everybody kept commenting on my other videos that I should turn it off completely or keep it very, very low because it slows me down, which I have to be honest, when I turn TCS off completely or I put it from 3 to 1, like I think in this race I have it on 1, and I have to say it is a bit more difficult to control the car. You have to be much more careful how you manage your throttle in and out of cornerings, but at the same time it can boost a bit your speed. So thank you everyone that told me that. That was already a bit of an improvement, and although makes it a lot more, you have to be more conscientious with your exit strategy when you want to carry when you want to go on the throttle. You can't just go full aggressive like when you have TCS on. I managed to spin the car in so many races around, and initially I thought someone is trolling me with its TCS, but then I realized it actually was just me being absolutely garbage at the game. But yeah, this corner here, for example, I don't usually take it very well because I brake too much, and I oftentimes find myself being in the wrong line, so I'm not able to push on the throttle as early as I should, which is really bad. And honestly, I was losing every lap about a second from the lead. I'm now at 5.5 seconds and I'm 3 seconds from second place. And Tony in 4th place, the guy on the GT, on the Nissan GT, I think it's the Nismo 3, he was getting closer and closer every lap. So now I decided I'm not gonna push anymore because probably I'm not gonna be able to get the 2 guys in front of me because they are running very smoothly, and you can tell they are very confident and are making no mistakes. So for me, pushing will just mean that I increase my chance of mistakes. And honestly, since this was the last race I would do on Lago Maggiore for the weekly, I wanted to get at least 1 podium. So I decided to play it a bit safer which will come to bite me in the back later on, because Tony is going to come munching on me in a bit. This corner again, very, very shy on the acceleration and extremely avid with the brakes. I brake way too much, but that's obviously because I don't have the correct lines, and I still need to put more practice into it. I do want to practice more Lago Maggiore, even if it's not the daily anymore, but I want to get a 158 in. I need to break the 2 minutes barrier, otherwise I'll feel like an absolute failure for not being able to achieve it, even though I run the circuit for like 5 hours non-stop. Although I didn't have much time because of work, but here again, I tried to maximize track a bit more, but you can tell I was shy on the acceleration. But as of now, Papa Killer is pretty much undisturbed. He's pushing almost 4 seconds on second place and 6.5 seconds on me. So he's running a 2 minutes point 3, 2 minutes flat and 3/10 of a second. He's very, very fast for us. But everybody was running around the 2 minutes and 2, 2 minutes and 3, 2 minutes and 1. So it was a good race. But the fact that it was very clean, and except the beginning, that was a bit of a mess with some dudes just going left and right without respecting any lanes. But yeah, you can see it. Third lap, I managed to push a 2.1, which is very good for me. But you can tell Tony, it's under half a second. So he gained more than a second on me in the last lap, which means Tony is also running about a second faster than I am. So now the problem is, I will have to maintain third place, while Tony here just bumped into me and is going to try with the GT3 Nismo to take third place from me. So this is the first time I had in a race I had to defend a position, because usually what would happen is somebody will send me to oblivion really quickly, and then I'll be in the last place and I'll have a clean race because I'll basically just run along. But here I made a mistake. I got a bit pushed, but nothing crazy. Tony did a really good job of being aggressive, and here I got pushed back in fourth place, 1 second distance from Tony, and Tony was doing pretty decently. So I thought I'm not going to be able to catch up with him, because except a few mistakes in the beginning and a few pushes here and there, he was very clean and very fast. And I thought the French dude is going to absolutely demolish me, give me 3 seconds just like Papa Killer is doing, and I thought I have to give up on third place. But I still decided to try and push a little bit, because now I have to try and get third place. I still want to try and get it in my last race. I don't want to finish fourth, although it's good in top 5, but I do want to try and get at least the podium. At least in one race. I mean, it's not like, you know, I'm racing against incredibly crazy players. They're faster than me, but on average they're not very fast. You can tell Tony here has made a little bit of a mistake, which allows me to close the gap in a straight line, which is a massive no-no for Tony, because I was able to pull off from him very, very quickly. Here I tried to close the line as much as possible, because I knew he's not going to be able to push from the left, because he's going to have to push on the acceleration, and that's where I slip off very often after that, you know, like U-turn. So I tried to force him into making a mistake, but I wasn't like sure he's going to do it, because he had a very clean race. But he did made a little bit of a mishmash there, and now it's at 1.3 seconds behind me. And I think here he tried to rush it a little bit, because he's starting to lose tenths after tenths. Now he's 1.5 behind me, and although I'm doing a few mistakes here and there, it doesn't seem to be able to catch up with me. So I think he tilted a little bit and started making more mistakes, starting to drive more aggressively, and that didn't really help. By the next turn I think I lose it completely, and this is the final lap. So Papa Killer is almost done. Frankie has a 4 seconds gap, so both of them were driving pretty confident and chill. They had no battle between them, so everybody kind of, you know, respected their own boundaries in a sense and were happy with first and second place. Here is where I think I push off a little bit. I'm back to 1.5 from Tony, and this is where Tony gets at 1.7, 1.8. So I think he's trying to rush it too much to try and close back the gap, and he's making tiny minuscule mistakes and he's not able to catch up. I'm just gonna get this last corner done right. I'm sweating a little bit because this is my first time getting a podium in GT7, and I also got it with a 2 minutes flat lap. So I was just pushing. My last lap was only 3/10 or 4/10 slower than Papa Killer, the guy in first place, and Frankie, the guy in second place. So I think with a bit more practice, I would have been able to get to a similar lap time and have maybe a battle for 1 and 2. But at the moment, the way I am, I'm still at the beginning levels. The problem, it's always the same. It's just the amount of mistakes that you make, and that is the only thing that is pretty bad. It comes with a lot of practice to be able to corner effectively and have a sustained consistent speed, but most importantly to be able to finish a race and don't do that many mistakes. But that was it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly learned a lot from racing online against other people on how how cool of a circuit Lago Maggiore is. It's one of my favorites right now, but this one in the Nürburgring. But I need to catch up and learn other circuits as well, although I'm not going to be able to learn all of them. So I'm going to focus on the daily races, and every time we have a reset for the daily races, I'll take one of the tracks, and I'm just going to focus on that track for the whole week and try to get some races in, try to get some trials in, and see how I fare against other people. And you know, all in all, try to push down the numbers and push up the lap times, you know, second by second, 10th by 10th, whatever. This has been for me today. I'll see you guys in the next race. Stay fast, yeah?